when I finally found somebody that I could just be myself with.
Briana DeJesus has been sharing details of her dramatic dating life on Teen Mom for years, but she kept one of her most recent relationships a complete secret for a long time, and it had a terrible impact on many people's lives once it was exposed. So why exactly was there such a bizarre scandal surrounding Briana's romance? The truth about what really happened is honestly shocking, so let's get into it. It's no secret that Briana has had seriously bad luck over the years when it comes to finding love. She's had several whirlwind romances that fizzled out just as quickly as they started. In the past, Briana would introduce whatever guy she was dating at the time to the Teen Mom cameras very early on, which was usually a recipe for a disaster. But a little over a year ago, she decided to do things differently. For months, she managed to keep her love life extremely private. In July 2022, Briana shared a surprising photo to her Instagram story that stunned her followers. The picture showed the back of a man's head, which was super mysterious. But even though she hadn't mentioned anything about having a boyfriend, her caption made it pretty obvious. Briana had added the words, "my baby," over the photo, which implied they were most likely dating. And a few days later, she posted a video to her Instagram story that disclosed an insanely unexpected detail. The quick clip showed Briana filming herself smiling as she sat in a car next to her mystery man. His entire face was visible this time, so it was impossible to ignore that he looked much older than her. Briana's social media followers had a lot to say about that, and they did not hold back. Her Twitter, along with the comment sections under some of her Instagram posts, were flooded with remarks about her new guy's age. She was 28 at the time, and many people guessed that he was at least 10 years older than her. But soon, it became clear that the age gap wasn't the only problematic part of their relationship. Just one day later, the identity of Briana's new man was revealed. The Ashley's Reality Roundup reported that his name was Bobby Scott, and he was 42 years old at the time. Their 14-year age difference was a red flag to a lot of people, but the truth about how they started dating was even crazier. Briana and Bobby first met each other in September 2021 when Teen Mom Family Reunion was being filmed in San Diego. But this is where things start to get seriously messy. It turns out that they were both working on the set of the show, but according to what a production source told The Ashley, Bobby's job was behind the camera. He was actually one of the cast's security guards and had been working with Teen Mom for quite a while. The insider added that Bobby hadn't crossed paths with Briana until that moment because he lived in Michigan while she lived in Florida. Although he had been assigned to some of Macy Bookout McKinney's shoots, he mainly worked as Tyler and Caitlin Baltiera's guards, but that wasn't all. The source also claimed that after Briana and Bobby first met, they wasted no time getting to know each other. They allegedly started dating at the end of 2021, which means that they had been together for around 6 months when we found out about their relationship. It's almost kind of impressive that Briana kept her romance with Bobby under wraps for that long. But the real reason they wanted to keep their relationship a total secret in the first place is honestly insane. Since Bobby had been hired by MTV to work on the Teen Mom security team, that meant he was technically employed by them. However, the network had previously set rules forbidding any romantic involvement between cast members and MTV employees. The production insider also mentioned that Briana and Bobby managed to hide from almost everyone for a while. They even hid their relationship from the rest of the security team. But months later, they made a bizarre choice that caused everything to come crashing down. Surprisingly, Briana and Bobby's secret romance was uncovered when they decided to be on camera together. Another source told The Ashley that when Bobby traveled to Florida to film with Briana for Teen Mom, the next chapter, things took an unbelievable turn. Supposedly, some of the other security guards started to get super suspicious about what was really going on with Bobby and Briana. Eventually, one of the guards talked to MTV producers about the couple's hidden relationship. After the producers confronted Briana about what they had heard, she finally confessed. She admitted that it was true that she and Bobby were dating, but what happened immediately after that was completely shocking. Despite the fact that Bobby had been working with MTV for a long time, the network fired him for violating their rules. But they didn't just cut ties with him and move on. Believe it or not, MTV decided to fire the entire security team. The guard who had told the network about Bobby and Briana's secret romance was also given the boot. Every person on the team was unexpectedly sent packing, even the guards who had been working with the cast since the very beginning of the show. They were all unfairly fired because of Briana and Bobby's relationship, which understandably left a lot of people feeling incredibly angry. Because the couple had decided to go go against MTV's rules, each guard on the team lost their source of income. But based on how Briana was acting afterward, she didn't seem very concerned at all. In August 2022, Briana spoke to E! News about how happy she was to be dating Bobby. She claimed that it was the first mature relationship she had ever been in, and even said that he wanted to settle down. But just 1 month later, her tune had totally changed. In September, Briana held a Q&A session on her Instagram story. But when one of her followers asked how things were going with Bobby, her response was absolutely unreal. Briana answered that she and Bobby were trying to figure things out, but she didn't explain what was going on. However, they had filmed their scenes together months earlier. So by the time Bobby made his debut on Teen Mom, The Next Chapter, their relationship timeline seemed even more confusing. Bobby was first shown on screen in October, at around the same time that breakup rumors started going around online about him and Briana. But in another episode later that month, Briana made a seriously crazy revelation. Briana admitted that she wanted to have another child and mentioned that she hoped it would happen sooner rather than later. She didn't directly say that she wanted to have a baby with Bobby, but it was pretty obvious since they were dating at the time. But what happened next is honestly mind-blowing. At the end of November, an episode aired that finally explained Briana and Bobby's relationship status. She had asked him for space to figure out what she wanted, and she later admitted that she had been shutting him out of her life. However, Briana was extremely upset when Bobby respected her request for space and didn't continue to text her. After 3 weeks of not really communicating, she asked him to meet up when he was in Florida for work. She decided to break up with him, which left many viewers in complete disbelief. Briana had gone from being head over heels and wanting a child with Bobby to dumping him for a seemingly ridiculous reason in such a short amount of time. They had dated for about 9 months in total, but how she acted toward the end of their relationship was so bizarre. Briana and Bobby had both caused numerous people to lose their jobs, all because they decided to start dating each other. When they chose to film their relationship and share it with the public, they had to have known that their secret would be exposed. They were apparently willing to risk their and everyone else's careers because they wanted to be together. So the fact that Briana behaved so strangely and broke up with Bobby after he and the other guards were fired was seriously unbelievable. One of the Ashley sources revealed that many of the crew members, producers, and cast members were so mad at Briana and Bobby. Supposedly, they felt like it had been really unprofessional of them to even get into a relationship with each other. But that wasn't all. The Insider also said that people were even more upset by how Briana and Bobby reacted after their romance was exposed. They reportedly didn't even act like they felt bad about the whole security team being fired, which seems insanely disrespectful and cold. Not surprisingly, Briana had her usual victim mindset when she went live on Instagram after the breakup episode premiered. She spent most of the live stream complaining about her inability to date multiple men at one time. But Briana never once mentioned the awful, life-changing impact that her romance with Bobby had on the guards who unfairly lost their jobs. Briana and Bobby both behaved selfishly when they chose to date each other, considering they were well aware of MTV's rules. But the way that Briana handled their breakup and continued to blame Bobby for their split on social media was outrageous. Hopefully, Briana has actually learned not to keep mixing work and romance. But unfortunately, that still wouldn't help the many people who lost their year-long careers due to the relationship she and Bobby had. Anyway, now that we've gotten into the bizarre details of Briana and Bobby's relationship, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that MTV should have allowed the rest of the security team to keep their jobs? What are your thoughts on how Briana broke up with Bobby for not reaching out to her after she told him she needed space from him? Let me know in the comments below.